Scorzar, the podcast. For this and more, check out scorzar.org.
Hi everybody, hey, welcome to the Czar Zone. I'm the Scorzar, your host, as we travel through a little adventure here on Scorzar.org. What is Scorzar.org? Well, we'll talk about it in more detail as we go. But what you got to know for now is a math formula that rates and ranks sports teams, and it just gets it right. So on the docket for this show is college baseball. And as we record this, the regional tournaments are just getting underway. And we're going to talk about the regional tournaments. We're going to break down all the matchups there. But before we get going, I want to talk about what the Scorzar computer has done to determine who these teams are and how they rate and rank in comparison. I'm going to start with our top 10. This is the Scorzar top 10, college baseball Division I heading into the regional tournaments. Top 10, number 10 on Scorzar is Missouri State with a record of 46 wins and 10 losses. They're no secret anymore. Everyone knows that Missouri State's one of the premier teams in the league, and they've lived up to that billing. So they come in at number 10. Number 9, kind of a similar story, is UC Santa Barbara. Not your typical your powerhouse team, but yet here they are in the top 10, coming in at number 9. This is very interesting. Texas A&M is our number 8 team on Scorzar. And that's a little bit interesting because they were number 1 for quite some time, and then they've faded. They've faded as time goes on here. 45 wins, 11 losses. At number 7 is TCU. Number 6 is Vanderbilt. Their number 5 team is LSU. That's the Humans' number 1 pick at the moment. We got them all the way down at number 5. Number 4 is the Florida Gators. This is a surprise. Number 3, Scorzar, number 3 team is Oklahoma State. Number 2 is UCLA, and Scorzar number 1 team is Miami of Florida. That, at this moment, is who the computer is projecting will win the Omaha 8 tournament coming up here later on in June. So you can take it to the bank because the Scorzar system always gets it right. So we're going to talk about the regional tournaments. We're going to break these things down, but there's just not a lot to talk about here, and I'll get to why I say that in just a moment. But before we get there, let's talk about the teams that were left out. Now, a tip of the hat, believe it or not, to the NCAA for kind of getting things right. I don't see a lot of controversy here. It's pretty impressive that they did a very, very good job this year of getting it right and getting the correct teams into the tournament. Couldn't have always said that in the past about the NCAA. Good job this year. Someone got lucky. I'm glad it was you. Okay, real quick about the teams that are left out. There's really only a handful of people that really have a legitimate argument, and even their arguments are kind of watered down a little bit. Connecticut, I have a Scorzar number 15 team. They're not ranked anywhere else, but the Scorzar had a number 15. We'll talk about Connecticut later. It's not a huge deal that they got left out, but they were kind of highly rated on Scorzar. They're out of the picture. Nevada. Now, Nevada, I'm a big proponent of Nevada because they really came on towards the end of the year. They were just killing teams. But you hosted your tournament, your conference tournament at your home field, and you couldn't get past the second round. So Nevada, you kind of deserve to get left out. That being said, you're number 27 on Scorzar. Boy, I had big hopes for Nevada, and it's just really disappointing you couldn't get through that tournament. Number 28 on the list is Arizona got left out. Alabama got left out. And I'm going to end this at UNC. The Tar Heels. What happened to North Carolina? They were so good for so many years, and now they don't even make the tournament. So let's talk now about the actual teams that did get selected to make the tournament. And I'm going to buzz through this kind of quick because there's just not a lot of controversy here. I'm in complete agreement for the most part, with one exception, about which team got the regional tournament host luxury, if you will. So let's go through this. Baton Rouge is the first one we're going to start with. Computer is picking LSU to come out of that and head into the Super Regional. The Houston Regional Tournament is University of Houston is the computer's pick there. Down to the LA regional tournament, computer likes UCLA to prevail there. Over into the Lake Elsinore tournament, which is somehow, that's Santa Barbara's home school. And Lake Elsinore is nowhere near Santa Barbara, but computer is saying UCSB will take that and head into the super regionals. Down to Gainesville, you have all the Florida teams. We have University of Florida, the Gators advancing. The next one is Tallahassee, that's Florida State is a computer pick. The next regional is Louisville, which we have the University of Louisville. You're seeing a pattern here. The computer likes every team that the NCAA selected as a host city so far. Next up is Fullerton. Hey, we're sticking with the theme here. Cal State Fullerton advances according to the computer. Now we're into Champaign, where the Illinois Illini is a computer pick, as one might reasonably suggest. Over into Stillwater Regional, that's Oklahoma State. Again, the host team. Coral Gables, that's the U. Miami of Florida, which is the Scores Are #1 team. Of course, certainly we're selecting them to advance to the Super Regionals out of the Coral Gables Regional Tournament. Over into Nashville, that's Vanderbilt, College Station, Texas A&M. Into the Dallas Regional, now we have a little bit of a difference here. The computer likes Oregon State to prevail in the Dallas Regional. Of course, Dallas Baptist is hosting it, but the computer has Oregon State ranked number 10 in the nation, has Dallas Baptist ranked number 13. Now, a case actually could be made that Oregon State should have been a host city, and I think when you look at this, and if you're unbiased outsider, you'd have to agree Oregon State has got a much better argument to be a regional host than Dallas Baptist does. Just look at the records, look at the conferences. Oregon State should prevail coming out of the Dallas Regional. The last two, Springfield, we got Missouri State advancing, and finally Fort Worth is TCU. That's how things should happen in these regional tournaments, and we'll get to the super regionals when those come up. But for now, that's what the computer says for these regional tournaments, and you can take it to the bank because the computer always gets it right. So that's it for our college baseball regional tournament preview. Track what the scores are. Go to scoresar.org. Just see how well the system does compared to how the real world plays out. Now join us next time for our super regional preview, where we'll do this all over again, and the computer will pick the Omaha 8. Till we meet again, this is the Scores Are bidding you adieu.
Scores Are, the podcast. For this and more, check out scoresar.org.